So I already have my photo and it's a 6-inch circle and I've backed it with white cardstock. And I just did that in Photoshop Elements using the clipping mask with a circle. So I'm starting out with my favorite embellishment for the month, the leaves wood veneers. And I'm just going to place them in 3 areas around the circle. I love to use things in threes, so I'm going to do 3 clusters of leaf embellishments. So I'm going to add those here, but I'm also going to use the new So Cozy stamp around the circle as well. But what I'm thinking is that I want to use those spaces in between the leaves to add my title, and with that I'm going to use the Stanley outline alphabet. This is my favorite alphabet stamp from Elle Studio so far. So I'm just going to get started stamping my title. So I'm going to begin with the word leaves, and every time I stamp I'm going to just wipe the stamp off with my gum eraser just to make sure that there's no gunk on the stamp. And before I start stamping, I want to be sure that that circle is right in the center of my layout. And I'm going to just draw a really light pencil line around my circle so that I can move that and not get ink on my photo. So I'm starting off with a really light brown ink. And I'm going to just continue to stamp the word in that light brown ink because my plan is to add some watercolor colors to the inside just really carefully. And you can see there I dropped the stamp, but it's not going to matter because my photo is going to cover that up anyway. So this stamping a title is quite a long process, especially in a circle like this. You want to make sure you get it right, but I find that it is really beautiful and it totally works with this kind of wreath that I have going on around my circle image here. So I definitely think it's worth it. I'm looking for a phrase, and here on Title Builder I see make me. It actually says you make me, but I can just stamp make and me to continue my title. So I'm just going to bend this ever so slightly around kind of this shape of my circle. And it's quite tricky to get the right curvature here. Okay, so I finally got it worked out, and I'm going to use red or Watermelon Wonder from Stampin' Up! to ink this one up, because I do want some different colors all around the title. So I just decided where to place the words make and me, and then moved my wood veneer leaf out of the way just so it didn't mess up the stamped image. Okay, to continue the title, I'm going to stamp So Very in green. And this is going to fit between the next 2 clusters of leaves. And I'm always making sure to put my letters straight back on the acetate sheet because I have lost clear stamps before, and that's really upsetting when you do that because it's not like you can, just buy a single letter or a single word. So I'm adding happy here, and this is also from Title Builder, and I love that it's a different font than the Stanley. Okay, so I have all of these beautiful stamped Stanley letters that need some color added in. And the great thing about Stampin' Up! Ink pads is that you can press on them and get the ink on the top so that you can use that with a water pen. And I am barely using any water here from this water pen because I really don't want the color to run on here. And since I didn't stamp with stays on the outside, I could, get some runnage of the outline. So I really don't want to do that. I'm just ever so slightly using the water pen here. I'm not squeezing it at all. And I'm being sure to alternate colors here around the entire title so that no two colors are next to each other on the title. And O is my last letter. I'm just going to make that one green. So there's my title completed. And now I'm going to look for a tag I can use for journaling and some accent embellishment tags as well. These little die cuts are so cute. I love the dark green autumn one. And I also like this orange one because I can add the date to that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to group them with the leaf clusters. I want to make sure the balance stays in a radial balance on my page. So I'm going to make sure everything is tied to that circle in some way. I also grabbed the I Love Autumn vellum speech bubble. And because that is kind of a circular shape, I thought that would be nice on the bottom corner. Now this leaf journaling tag is going to be perfect for my journaling because it has that nice white side that has plenty of room for journaling. And what I'm going to do here is use my really old Creative Memories circle cutters. I still love these things in a pinch, and especially for something like this where I wouldn't be able to use my Silhouette machine. I'm going to cut it into a 3-inch circle, but I really have to be sure that I have it lined up properly because it is a 3-inch tag, and so I need to be sure that I get it just right. So I'm going to do a second pass at cutting this circle just to make sure, because these tags are quite thick, so I want to be sure that I cut it out properly. And that turned out perfect. So now I'm going to find a place to put the journaling tag, just so I know where it's going to go on my layout to just keep it balanced. So I've decided to put it right here at the start of my title and incorporate it into that grouping of leaves. And I'm just trying to find the right balance of leaves to tag kind of ratio here. Next, I'm pulling out the So Cozy stamp, and I love that this has the same leaves in stamp form because you can use this over and over and over again. And I'm planning to stamp some of the leaves in bright colors behind these wood veneer leaves. So I'm just moving the wood veneer out of the way just so I can see where I want to place the stamp. And I'm mixing up the colors of these leaves as well, and using the same colors that I added in my title all the way around the circle. I'm also using each of the leaf designs found on the stamp around the frame to be sure I get all three. the good thing about these acrylic stamps is that you can really see what they're going to look like before you stamp them. You can hold it over the page and really get an idea of what it's going to look like. So to make that more circular, I'm just cutting off the speech bubble little tail there. I found another die cut from the kit. It says yay, so I added that right next to the I Love Autumn vellum. And I decided that it would be nice to have a bit of wood grain to kind of ground the bottom of my layout, just so it didn't look like it was floating too much. I found the favorite season circle in the digitals this month, and so I went ahead and punched that out and added it to my third leaf arrangement. And I'm also adding just a bit of brown ink around my journaling tag, just to kind of give it an aged look. So in my unboxing video, I said that I wanted to paint these leaves, but now that I'm looking at this layout, I've decided to actually stain them. So I'm using my brown ink, the same brown ink that I used for my title, and I'm going to use my water pen just because that can make it less harsh when you add a little bit of water to it. And I'm just staining the wood on the leaf, so this way you can still see kind of the grain in the design, and it looks a bit more natural than painting. If you don't have ink and you have like a furniture touch-up pin around your house, you could also use that on these as well. And I love that some of them are darker than others. They almost look kind of burnished. The color isn't even the entire way around the leaf, which I really like the look of. So I'm just going to finish with all of those leaves around the layout. And now that those are dry, it's time to just adhere everything down. I'm using some mono adhesive on the wood veneer and dimensional adhesive on my photo, and I'm just going to get everything stuck down to the background. So off camera, all I did was add a little bit of sparkle with Wink of Stella on the leaves, and I also added some of the autumn sequins just to finish off the layout. It really didn't need much more embellishing at all. I love the way it turned out. It's exactly how I had planned to use these leaves, and I love that my title wraps all the way around that photo, and the colors are just perfect for the photo, and it talks about my love of autumn and how much I miss it where I live now. Be sure to check out the kit and the add-ons via my affiliate link in the video notes. And thanks so much for watching. Happy creating!